All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. We have a serious episode for everybody today. So for those of you who have not been paying attention to the news today, we had Kimberly Cheatle, the Secret Service Director on Capitol Hill, responding to questions from both sides of the aisle in Congress, which was absolutely hilarious because she was getting eviscerated by both sides. And if you are unhappy that we're not going to have some questioning from, Democrats that is so embarrassing that you want to, basically take your ears and then just go like this and pop them off your head so you never have to hear anything ever again. Don't worry. We got one of those. We definitely got one of those. Ayanna Pressley, who never fails to live up to the moniker I've given her, which is most annoying, worst person in Congress. She came correct today, boy. She came correct today. But we also have a new hero of Congress who absolutely eviscerated the Secret Service Director. I'm going to show you that entire thing because it's so fun. But before we get into that, there is a new report now out that Joe Biden is either dead or terminal. I'm 100% serious about this. Like, this is not a joke. This is 100% serious. We're going to go over there, and that's what we're going to talk about first. It started with this right here. Charlie Kirk reported this story about him potentially being dead. That's not a joke, okay? And then 6 hours ago, we are now seeing reporting, this is at 9:15 a.m. today, that he's terminal and that this has been confirmed by DC medical staff or whatever. So gnarly. You're like, all right, so what do we got? 10 days ago, we got Biden versus Trump, right? And then suddenly a week and a half later, we almost had both of them in the ground. And now one of them looks to be terminal. Now, listen, dude, I've told you guys before, I don't have any ill will towards Joe Biden. It looks like he's at the end of the road. And, he was a public servant for a long time. I'm not one of these people who buys into the he's a bad actors all the way along. Dude, listen, dude, if you're a DC swamp creature, people start digging into your past. You're going to find kids who, kids who smoke crack, lots of corruption out in the open. And it is what it is. But I'm not going to dance on the guy's grave if he really is terminal because I'm not a bad person, I am, however, going to dance on the grave of the career of the Secret Service Director. And that is going to be really fun today. So let's jump into both of these stories right now. If you have not subscribed to the channel, that would be bizarre because it seems like every person on earth has subscribed to my channel in the last few days. I've gained now 203,000 subscribers in 9 days. So I don't know what's happening, but I like it. And I appreciate all of you guys jumping on board. Go ahead and throw a like on this video and let's jump right into it. Okay, so Charlie Kirk, I'm going to read this to you guys and we're going to go through this report that Joe Biden is either dead or terminal. He says he got a weird lead on a story that people should look into. I got a call from a source close to the Las Vegas metro. The official story was that Joe Biden's trip was cut short last week due to COVID. However, according to the source, U.S. Secret Service informed LV Metro that there was an emergency situation involving Joe Biden and to close necessary streets so that POTUS could be transported immediately to University Medical, which they begun to do in earnest. Then, mysteriously, there was a stand-down order, and the USSS, United States Secret Service, informed local Las Vegas PD that they were going to medevac POTUS to Johns Hopkins, which they presumed meant fly him back east ASAP. Apparently, the rumor mill in the police department was that Joe Biden was dying or possibly already dead. I didn't think too much about this lead. It seemed too wild to be true, but given that Joe Biden has been out of public sight for days and has dropped out of the race via an X post, and his brother James indicated that health was a factor, I'm beginning to grow more curious if COVID or something else has been more serious than reported. If anyone from Las Vegas Metro has information, please email me. I want to hear if there's more to this official story. And then, you have a lot of people who are responding here. And, this one, Laura Loomer, I do not know. I don't know what her credibility is. I'm just saying what she's reporting. So she said that on July 5th, it said Joe Biden is reportedly having a medical emergency on Air Force One right now. That's July 5th. Now, she is the one right now July 22nd, saying that Joe Biden is now in the terminal stage of his illness. This is what my medical source in D.C. has confirmed to me. I told you all weeks ago he had an emergency on Air Force One and that you'd be seeing resignations. Everything I said is true. Most people don't know Air Force One has a full medical triage center in the plane. There's even an operating room on Air Force One. Just because people don't know these things doesn't make any of my reporting incorrect. It just means I'm ahead of the curve. So she is, if I'm reading this correctly, indicating that she has a source on Air Force One. And, if I was her source, I would be like, bitch, shut up. Bitch, shut up. Shut up. Jesus. You trying to get me killed? You see how these deep state guys do? What do you think they'll do to me if they find out that I told you that he was terminal? They'll make me terminal. So shut up. Jeez. But anyway, listen, dude, I'm glad that Joe Biden's not going to be president anymore, but I am certainly not happy that he's going to be dead. That's not something that's inside of my repertoire. There's only a handful of people that I would be happy to see, bite the dust. And one of them most likely will soon, but he handed his entire empire down to Junior. We talked about him on one of those other videos. And the only reason I'd be happy to see him go has nothing to do with him personally. It has to do with the fact that I think he is intentionally trying to undermine and destroy the United States. And, seems like a clear and present danger that I would rather not exist. You know what I mean? So, And one thing that I left out of that story is that Alex Soros, the son of George Soros, who I'm referencing, is engaged to Uma Abedin. I believe that's her last name. She is the right-hand woman of Hillary Clinton. She used to be married to Anthony Weiner, which is probably the only reason that he's still alive. And, the deep state, it's like the olden, the feudal times where it was like, we're going to marry your daughter with my son and our families will be connected forever. It's like George Soros is like, I'm going to put my son with Hillary Clinton's right hand and then we will solidify this forever. And they're like, yes, deep state royalty. Let's make sure there's a shooter on the water tower that'll shoot good, because if he misses, let's say hypothetically he hits an ear instead of a head, it's his last day. Make sure he knows that. That's why he hit the ear and he's all, oh my God, bang, 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 bang. I'm dead. Wait, what am I talking about? I wasn't talking about anything specific, you guys. Jeez. Back off. All right, so let's watch a little bit of this hearing because it's absolutely hilarious. And first things first, okay, I was just going to tell you in advance. I was expecting Marjorie Taylor Greene to be the one with like the funniest, takedown of the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheatle, because she just doesn't say what you want about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She does not give a single solitary F at all, So I was like, she's going to be super mean. And she was. But like I said, Mrs. McClain, oh my God, brutal what she did. All right, here we go. Buckle up for Ayanna Pressley. Now, just as a little preamble here, Ayanna Pressley is going to be asking the Secret Service Director about the incident where Trump, the presidential candidate, was shot in the head, okay? And let's just make sure that she's going to focus on the most important things because, of course, she is, right? Like, she's going to be focused on what's important for future safety of our candidates. Let's go.
That is an unacceptable timeline, and it makes people less safe. It also allows my colleagues across the aisle, Republicans, additional time to spread dangerous misinformation, which also puts people in harm's way. Some Republicans have exploited this moment to continue to attack progress towards racial justice and gender equity in America. Disappointing, but not surprising.
Of course. That's the important part of this, you guys. Obviously, it's about gender and racial equity, okay? Let's not talk about Secret Service failures. Let's not talk about any of the things related to Trump getting shot. Let's talk about Republicans pointing out that there were 5'1" women who weighed 200 pounds on his Secret Service detail that don't know how to holster their weapon. Listen, it's important that women and people of color are not unfairly attacked because I definitely don't have a one-track mind, and that is literally the only thing that I ever think about all the time, ever.
I hesitate to repeat their racist and sexist tropes, but in summary, Republicans have wrongfully and shamefully stated that hiring women and people of color hindered the response to the shooting. Now, this is part and parcel of Republican strategy to constantly attack necessary diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, to undermine the contributions that women, people of color, the disability community, and others make to this country each and every day. And it is disgraceful.
Let me tell you what's disgraceful. You woke crybaby. You, okay? You are the problem. You are the woke problem. You embody all of it, okay? Every single bit of it, you know? Wait a minute. So what are we here talking about? We're talking about the Secret Service. Oh, okay, cool. And then, what do you think is the most important topic that we would be potentially discussing about the Secret Service? Well, it's about failures in how to secure a perimeter that would totally apply to you, right? Yes. But are you trying to say that it's because there were women on the team? Are you trying to make this about disgusting racist, sexist tropes? Is that what you're doing? You're like, no, not exactly. I mean, I think what we were more pointing out is that there are certain people that are not even remotely qualified to be on the team that seem to be on the team, which seems problematic to us. You know, she's like, and are you talking about women? Yes, in this case we are. Well, why find that sexist? Well, I find the video of your homegirl hiding behind the president when he's getting shot at disgraceful. And I think she should be called out for it. Was there a man doing that? No. Right. And it was a white woman. So you should be stoked, dude. Like, you hate everyone, that's right. I mean, let's be honest.
In the wake of gun violence and tragic loss of life, Republicans are ignoring solutions like gun safety reform and instead trotting out sexist tropes. Can't say I'm surprised. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record reporting from CNN titled "Right-Wing Media Figures Blame Women in Secret Service and DEI for Security Failure in Trump Shooting."
Okay. Oh, guys. She wants to enter into evidence a CNN article that is slamming DEI. That's what we need to talk about. That's the important part of this story, is this CNN article, the most credible source of information in the world. They've never reported anything incorrectly. They've never attacked the right for no reason. And listen, this is probably an opinion piece, right? Is it an opinion piece, right? Is it a news article or is it an opinion piece? Shut up, Ayanna Pressley, for God's sake.
Without objection to order.
This article quotes members of Congress and others that plainly accuse DEI and the hiring of women as a liability for the Secret Service.
Oh, is that what they said? Is that what they said? Because I'm pretty sure what everybody was talking about was why were they on Trump's detail? Okay? The Secret Service is, they're investigating counterfeit money and stuff like that. No one said girls can't do that. No one said girls can't be on details. What they said was on the most important detail in the country, aside from the president of the United States and maybe the VP, but certainly the most obvious target. Maybe you have the best and brightest, which is not, girls that if I was going to be a dick, I might body shame, and I'll certainly body shame their height and their experience level. Okay? That is DEI. Okay, 30% women in the Secret Service. Why? This woman is putrid, dude.
Women have been an integral part of the agency since 1971 and are held to the same standards as their male counterparts. To use them as a scapegoat during a time of crisis is shameful and it is dangerously divisive.
Ugh.
In fact, based on recent publicly available demographic data of the agency, the largest demographic groups among special agents are white and male.
Oh, my God. What a huge gotcha. So wait a minute. In a country that's the majority white and a job that is going to be best served by men, the Secret Service is mostly white men. Oh my God, this must mean serious white supremacy at the top. This is something we have to change, Ayanna Pressley. You should probably be a Secret Service agent. You know? I know I'd feel safe with her at the helm. She's all, get one over there, get one over there, get one over there, and get one over there. Y'all, when you say one, what do you mean? She's all a lady, a midget, a homeless, paraplegic that's black and trans. And then over there, you make sure that you have someone that's mute, deaf, and knows sign language. You're all, how do those things apply to firing a weapon at a threat, identifying a threat, getting in between bullets and whoever they are protecting? Like, I don't understand. How does that qualify them? She's all, what did you say? I said, how does that qualify them? She's like, wow, look at Mr. White Supremacy. I'm sorry. Do you really think that I would have an issue with a qualified black man being on the Secret Service? Detail? Of course not. I just watched a black Navy SEAL giving an interview about all of this. So you think I'd have a problem if he was on my detail? No, I wouldn't. But if you sent me that Hobbit girl that's on Trump's, I would be like, guys, I don't feel very safe with her around me. Like, this is not, I don't feel safe. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't feel safe. Well, that's something that a white supremacist would say. I'm confused. Are we talking nonsense? You guys get the idea. Okay, now let's move over to this total savage, this girl, because she literally grabbed this woman's, to Kimberly Cheatle, she literally reached down her throat. She's all, hey, is that your liver? I'm going to just take this home with me. This is amazing. Watch this.
At the rally who are still recovering. On the other hand, the Secret Service has a leadership problem. And it falls on you. And although I appreciate your hollow words that the buck stops here, I was actually hoping for some answers. Director Cheatle, you must answer to the American people if you want to stay in charge. It's really, really simple. You want to keep your job, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. The best way to keep your job is to answer the questions, not play this shell game, not sing the Slim Shady song, wasn't me. I mean, come on. How long did you prepare for this hearing?
Let me ask you guys a question real quick. What Slim Shady song wasn't me? I was like, wasn't me? Wasn't me? I could be wrong, dude. Put it in the comments. Maybe there is a Slim Shady song, wasn't me, but I don't remember it.
I've been preparing for this hearing over the weekend and into last week.
Okay, 5 days, 6 days?
As soon as I was notified.
And how long was that?
About this hearing.
Okay, 4 days?
I began preparing.
4 days, 3 days?
I'm not sure the date that I got the letter asking me to be here.
What are you sure of? Are you sure the color of your hair? Are you sure the color of your suit? I'm just, tell the American people, what are you sure of? You don't even know when you started preparing for the hearing? I mean, the biggest hearing of your life, and you have no clue? You can't remember when you started preparing for this hearing? Can you understand why those words seem hollow to the American people who are supposed to entrust their faith in you?
I assure you, the moment I received notification.
But you can't remember. You got a little Alzheimer's, dementia going? I mean, you can't remember.
I have several active investigations going on and an operational agency to run.
Oh, so you can't remember? You can't remember how many days really? Everything I can't remember. She's all right, well, when did you receive the letter? You're telling me you can't remember if it was 5 days ago or 4 days ago? It's so stupid, dude. This was her entire hearing, just lying and refusing to answer everything.
Okay. All right. But you want to take accountability, right? The buck stops with you, right?
I am taking accountability.
Super. Then let's start with trying to answer some questions.
This is good.
You keep referring to the FBI. When asked how many shell casings were on the roof, you referred to the FBI. When asked if there were explosives in the car, you referred to the FBI. When asked if Crooks was acting alone, you referred to the FBI. See a common theme here? I can go on and on. My question is, who at the FBI should I speak with? Wait for it. Wait for it.
The FBI is responsible for the criminal
investigation. Is there a name?
I'm not certain.
I'm not certain.
Who at
All right, here we go. I'm not certain. I don't know. Let me ask a different question. Have you been in communication with the FBI?
Yes, I have.
With whom?
I speak with the director and the deputy director.
Okay. And what have they shared with you about this investigation? So I'll give you an opportunity to answer again. Did they share with you how many shell casings were on the roof?
They have shared with me the evidence.
Did they share with you how many shell casing were on the roof?
Yes.
Okay, how many were there?
I would refer to the FBI for their
How
investigation
many were there?
and their information that they need to share in their investigation.
So they've shared the information with you. You just don't want to share the information with us, correct?
We have concurrent investigations that are going on.
So they have shared this information with you. You know the answer to the question. You just refuse to answer the question from the member of Congress who has subpoenaed you to be here. Is there a different answer to that question?
I was always willing to come here and testify before this oversight hearing.
Beautiful. Then let's do that. Let's
necessary.
for once have your actions match your words. So you've been in communication with the FBI. You know the answers, and you refuse to tell us the answers. So I will ask you again. You know how many shell casings were on that roof. What is the answer to that question?
I think it's pertinent.
What is the answer to that question?
I think it's pertinent to talk to you about the information that the Secret Service has and that the Secret Service knows related
I'm
to the
asking
events
you
on
an
that day.
answer to the question. If you're supposed to be in charge, if the buck stops with you, how come you can't share the answers? What are you covering up? What are you hiding, my friend?
I'm not covering.
Ooh, that's a tough question. She's all, well, I'm covering up like all of these really weird things that led to Donald Trump getting shot. And I'm now realizing they hired me from Pepsi so that I could come here and take the fall on this thing. I am basically a patsy. Me and this guy who were on the roof are basically the same. You know, I'm the government version of the guy on the roof, you know, the patsy, because I can't answer. I am going to get destroyed on national television in front of the entire world. Both Democrats and Republicans are just absolutely hammering me. And, you know, the head of DHS told me explicitly not to answer any questions, you know, because I think that he knows that if too much information gets out, then we're going to start to, you know, have to answer some even harder questions like who is really behind this. And he doesn't want that. So
Covering anything else.
Then why can't you answer a simple question?
I would leave it to the criminal investigation to answer questions related to that.
When you talk to the FBI and you ask them how many explosives, well, let me ask you, did you ask them how many explosives were on the roof? Did they answer that question? Or in the car, excuse me. Did they answer that question for you?
Yes.
Yes. So you know the answer to that question that my colleagues have asked you. But again, you refuse to give us the answers. You're playing this wasn't me. Well, I submit to you, if you can't, and it's not a can't, it's a won't. It's not a can't. It's not a I don't know. It's a I choose not to answer the question. Well, let me tell you, Ms. Cheatle, if you're going to lead, you need to lead. If you want to be in charge, then answer the question or step aside and have someone with the courage and the guts to answer to the American people the questions that they deserve answers to.
boom, son. I don't know who that Ms. McClain is. Mrs. McClain. I keep saying Ms. because, you know, Die Hard 2, it's Ms. McClain. But, or actually, I'm sorry. Die Hard 1 is Ms. McClain. And it's actually Ms. Gennaro. I'm mixing this up. She kind of looks like John McClane's wife, to be honest. Anyway, she's a badass. So, you know, I'm a new fan of that Congresswoman because I watched a lot of them, and she's the one who just gutted her the best. It was great. I watched Laura I wanted to use Lauren Boebert because she's, you know, hot. And it's like I would love to put her on the channel and have her, you know, eviscerate her that well. She did fine. You know, she did fine. Even AOC ate her up, dude. All the, you know, like just everyone ate this woman's stomach out of her face, you know? What? So that was fun. But I guess if Joe Biden's terminal, that's not very fun for anybody, really. You know, he wasn't going to win the election anyway, so it's not like we win anything. Believe me, I'm very consistent on this, right? When I said, like, anybody who's happy about someone getting shot should be, you know, like, he's a complete asshole. Like, why would I be happy about Joe Biden being terminally ill? I'm not at all. You know what I mean? But listen, the world is an ugly place, apparently. And it's beautiful too, though, because the wife of that firefighter has gotten, the last time I looked, she had, I can't remember how much I donated. I think I donated like $100 or something. And she's at $5 million. Last time I looked, and that was like a week ago. I love that stuff, dude. I can't even imagine what it's at now. So, I mean, it doesn't make up for losing your husband, obviously, but at least their family will be cool. You know, it's a beautiful thing. That's what I got for today. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.